All right. Welcome.
Woohoo!
Got some technical errors out of the way. Hopefully that'll be the last of them, so we have a smooth podcast.
Nope.
Welcome to the Tier 1 Podcast live edition. We normally do it on the first Thursday of every month, but this time we pushed it back 1 week. We were supposed to have Kyle Morgan on, which is one of the reasons we pushed it right. He ended up having to leave for training. So Kyle ended up doing a recording. JT from Black Rifle was going to stay as well. He ended up having to leave. It's probably just as well because we have a lot of things to talk about that are probably better off just for us and the family anyway. So without further ado, let's get into it. Drew, kick off the intro.
Special Forces Rescue.
Welcome to the Tier 1 Podcast.
This is amazing, dude. Check this out, right?
And our live show is brought to you by Elevated Silence. Elevated Silence is obsessed with silence and passionate about making the world a quieter place, one suppressor at a time. They build phenomenal products that make life more enjoyable for everyone. Their engineers and product development team works with the science of silence. So all you have to do is pick the right suppressor for your caliber. Their goal is to deliver one of the best days of your life on the range. Go to elevatedsilence.com and use promo code Tier1 to get 15% off. Thank you, Elevated Silence, for supporting us. We just may need it. We used to, things like that used to go to keep the lights on, but lately it might go to a legal fee, a legal fund. And I think if you guys are watching this, you are probably aware of that. But to talk about suppressors, and we'll get into it. Don't worry, we're going to get right into it. We're going to get deep into it. But what's going on with suppressors, Magnet? Suppressors are about to get a little bit easier to get a hold of, hopefully.
Congress wrote a letter to Pam Bondi saying they would like to take it off the NFA list. Before the big, beautiful bill obviously was passed, it was in the bill, but they took it off to get it passed through. And as of January 1st of next year, there was not going to be a $200 tax stamp anymore on suppressors and short barrel rifles and short barrel shotguns.
Freedom!
Yeah. Right.
Should have never been there.
Right, but they're trying to get it taken off the list completely to where you don't have to do all the backgrounds and all that stuff on it. It'll be like buying a regular firearm.
Okay. All right. I hope I'm a big fan of suppressors. They do make shooting a lot more
nicer, yeah,
a lot more enjoyable. And if you shoot a suppressor long enough, as I did, it'll actually ruin you a little bit. And anyone who's not shooting a suppressor, you're like, "What are you doing, Neanderthal?
Yeah,
like, quiet your gun down. That's
right.
Obnoxious."
Yeah, it's crazy that UK has them. They can go into a store and just buy them in the UK.
Why not?
We can't.
Yeah, why not? Anyway, we'll get
yeah.
We'll get that. America will get that fixed. We can't let the UK beat us in that.
It's crazy in the UK though. They're throwaways, so they're only used for one mag, right. And then they throw them away.
That's right.
Because
forgot about that.
So you're talking about the UK where their police don't even carry guns.
Right.
You can walk into a shop and get a suppressor.
Interesting.
Make it make sense.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, they're throwaways. I forgot about that.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. In case you guys didn't know, and I'm sure you did, because he was selfish enough to make essentially Veterans Day about him, as he makes everything about him. Rob O'Neill hit me with a $25 million defamation lawsuit. essentially using my own words against me, because I did say on my first live, I was like, you know what? We've been right. We've always been right. How do you know we've been right? Because no one's ever sued me for defamation. And the reason I said that, and still believe that, I'll just change the way I say it now, because I'll just have to say no one's ever sued me for defamation and won, because that's how this ends. But he took that as a challenge, and he got a lawyer and pulled $25 million. He sounds like he doesn't just look like it to some degree, but he looks like a Temu Dr. Evil, where he's just like pulling random numbers out of the air. You know, like on Austin Powers. He's like, what does he say on Austin Powers? $1 million. Yeah. So he just pulls $25 million out of his back pocket. Is like, yeah, that sounds good. And in his lawsuit, he says that we basically don't leave him alone, which is really funny, because the only time the Tier 1 podcast before this, Rob, ever mentioned your name is because when I left the Anti-Hero podcast, you brought us up.
Yep.
So it was a rebuttal to you calling us asshats.
Never crossed our mind.
You never crossed my mind, Rob, until you started poking the bear. And so instead of taking it like a man, what does he do? He sues. Real.
Right.
Okay. I didn't have that in my bingo card of 2025 that he's that soft. I always thought someone else would sue us if it was someone else. But if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't that we had the truth on our side, it would be silly for you to sue us, because I guess he hasn't thought this out. But what's going to happen is we're going to go to court. And all the people who like to make phone calls to me and like to tell me, thank you for, I was there, and thank you for telling the truth. Rather, they're going to get subpoenaed, and they didn't want to come out and make this thing other than a private phone call. And now legally they're going to have to come in and tell you to your face what they've been telling me and tell you what you already know. So I'm sure my lawyer would probably tell me not to speak on it, but it doesn't matter to me. Like it's the truth, and I have no problem speaking about the truth. So not only does Rob make Veterans Day about him, it was no real coincidence. He essentially does it during the same time period that Matt Bissonnette, who was also on the raid, goes on the Sean Ryan show and tells a story that's not your story, Rob. So him trying to do this, hey, look over here, look at me, and don't listen to another guy that was on the raid, that's going to blow up my story. You think that's a coincidence? No. It's a desperate move by a desperate man. I was told one of my options is, hey, we can probably get this dismissed real easy. So if you want to move to dismiss it, I'm just going to put my cards on the table and tell you what I'm doing. And I said, no, we're not going to I'm absolutely not going to move to dismiss this, because to move to dismiss this would be like, I don't want to go to court. I'm scared of court. I don't have the truth on my side. So that got squashed real quick. We're not going to dismiss this. And if you asked me how this is going to play out, this is a publicity stunt, and Rob is not going to take this to court. And mark my words, only two things can happen. Rob will either find out he's made a huge mistake and not let this go to court, and this little publicity stunt to make sure Matt Bissonnette is not heard is over for him, and he will not take this. He will not take it to court, or it's going to go to court and you're going to lose. So either way, it's fine by me. Got a lot of people calling me like, "Hey, are you okay? Hey, are you okay?" I'm fine by this. This is, in a weird way, it's one of the best things that could have happened, because I always wanted people to have to come forward, not have to come forward, but one of them come forward and back me up. But we're dealing with a group of men who don't normally want to do this, but because they also care about what's right, they will answer questions and allow me to carry the story for them. And of course, that's already happening. As soon as this lawsuit was told, I was immediately started receiving phone calls like, "Hey, we'll back you up. We'll go to court. We'll see him there. This is crazy." So to catch people up, if you don't know, here's the other problem. A lot of people don't know what, and because of Rob, we have to dig all this up and catch everyone up on the problem. And I see it in the comment section all the time. People don't know what the different story is. The stories are just this. Let's talk about Matt Bissonette first and exactly what he said on the Sean Ryan show. It's exactly what we said on our podcast, Exposing Rob, which is the point man read and a whole slew of SEALs moved up to the third floor. The point man read, shot UBL in the doorway, and they followed their shots, and they went in, and 4 of them, Rob being the last man in the room, goes in, and the other 3 put security shots into a dead man. And that's exactly what Matt Bissonette said, which is what everyone else I've ever talked to have said about that. Rob tells a wildly different story. It's not Rob just said, "Hey, I shot bin Laden," which is true. I'm certain Rob shot bin Laden. But Rob's version of the story is this: I and I alone put the first shot, the second shot, the third shot, every shot, the last shot, me and me alone. None of my teammates, me and me alone took care of UBL. And that is one of the most selfish things you can do. And it really goes against all military values. It goes against integrity. It goes against teamwork. And for you to go do that was insanely selfish. And you did it for selfish reasons. You did it for yourself. You did it for fame. You did it for money. And did you think you would get away with it forever? I mean, it's amazing to me that you got away with it for this long. But did you really think you were going to get away with it forever? And when getting called out, instead of doing the right thing and going, "All right, I messed up. It got away from me. I should have never done this. I should have never done this for this long." You double down on it. And you act like there's no way for us to find out or prove this. So Matt going public right off the bat will tell you his story. There's something else that Matt Bissonette tells in the Sean Ryan story that I never really caught wind of and talked about in the first episode. He talks about the way they were clearing. The way they were clearing was really slow and methodical. And in a slow and methodical clearance, it'd be one thing if Rob would have found himself all by himself in a room with another guy doing hostage rescue, like moving super fast. The chance of ending up by yourself in a room with a Tier 1 organization is super low, but at least it's a possibility. Crazier things have happened. When you're going slow and deliberate and methodical the way they were going, of which Matt said, it's just that. It's slow. It's methodical. It's if you're not the one man buying a door and going, everyone else in the train is just waiting for their opportunity to get in and do some work. So I don't know if Sean didn't really pick up on that nugget. I don't know if anyone else picked up on that. So the chances of you going slow with 24 operators in a 3-story house, especially when he said they were dealing with a barricaded door on the first floor, which is going to back
Remember
you.
what happened?
What's that?
The AK-47 through the door on the first door that he went to blow. They shot through the door first.
Right.
And he said that he's already dealt with that before, where he almost got shot.
Right. But they were going to go slow anyway. Right. But that first, which was a second secondary compound within the compound only proved that their tactics was, hey, go slow, methodical. Let's be surgical about this. Worked, and so for them to also move slow and you find yourself all by yourself in a room is just, Rob, nothing about your story makes sense. Yes, you could have fooled some of the people in the public for a little bit, but none of your story makes sense. But I'm not the only one saying this. In fact, you act like there's not an internet around as well. And there was this thing called the White House that was around as well. And they have something that's going to put a hurting on your story. And why is it, Rob, the more information that comes out and the more I dig, actually the more I find your story to be false. And there's nothing that I dig around on that I'm like, oh, actually this enhances his story. Drew, can you go to the Chicago, I believe it's Chicago Sun article pulled up on the interwebs? All right, right here. The White House put out a correction statement after they looked into it. I don't know, they probably looked into it in the AAR that Matt Bissonette talked about. That was a verbal AAR that got recorded. And in that AAR, apparently the point man did most of the talking. Well, because the point man did most of the killing and the work. And that's how it happens when you go slow and methodical. When you go slow and methodical, when you're in the front of that train, you get to stay in front of that train for a while. It's really hard to get in front of that guy. So again, just tactically that makes sense. But it says, Osama bin Laden was not armed during the raid by U.S. forces. When he was shot and killed, a woman was not exactly used as a human shield to protect him, and his wife was not killed Sunday. White House officials said, correcting the record. Hold on, Rob. Your whole story is that a woman was used as a human shield, and that's why you had to shoot him in the head twice, and then once when he hits the ground.
Uh-oh.
But that's not what the White House said. So now Matt Bissonette's a liar. The White House is a liar. That's interesting. And I've always had a question. If you're the only person in this room and the only one shooting, speaking of them all, who wasn't used as a human shield, and the reason why we know she wasn't used as a human shield because she was shot in the leg. And in that article, you don't have to go back to it, but you guys can go read that article. It says she was shot in the leg when she charged the assaulters. Well, if there's assaulters in the room and she got shot in the leg and it wasn't you, that means other people were in the room, other people were shooting. That everything about this just slowly dismantles his story. So I think that would be one of the many reasons you may not want to hit me with the defamation case when you know I'm not lying. Who else was on that raid that might have said something? Drew, can you pull up that picture for me?
Ooh, the picture.
I sent you one picture.
I'll get it.
Yep, you're good. Let me know when you got it up. It's no rush.
Looking for the email. Dang it. Email's not there. I don't know where it went.
Okay, that's all right. Keep looking for that, and I will just read it while you look that up. I got it. Their G2 Precision LLC was co-founded by a SEAL Team 6 member who was on the raid. Don't worry, when Drew gets it, we'll put it up there for proof. His X account was taken down. He didn't after some further investigation, he didn't remove this. his account was taken down. They had to redo an account. But if you want to go to a time machine and look this up, there it is right there. Is that on the screen for them yet, Drew? No. You're good. Keep working on that. I'll talk about it. He writes on X, another person who was on that raid. Now we got the White House involved, and now we have another man on the raid that decided to go, Rob did not shoot UBL first. The first man in the room shot him center mass first. Biss shot second. Rob was number 4. Just like I said, Rob did shoot him in the head after 3 others shot him. We had agreed not to shoot him in the head or face, but to preserve for positive identification reasons. So once again, you weren't the only man in that room. You weren't the only man to dispose of the world's number 1 terrorist.
No, what's up, buddy?
All right, thank you for that. I know you wish you were, and I know you wish that were the truth. But it's just not true. I'm just again showing and this is just a small portion, showing my hand that I'm not the only one saying this. Other people who were there are saying this. He's also falsely done this, and it bugs me because people just hear something and they run with it. And it's like, well, even Amal bin Laden, backs up my story. No, she doesn't. Go look up her story. And she also says a team of Navy SEALs came into our room and killed my husband. So far we got another person in the room that has a wildly different story than Rob. We have another man that was on the raid who publicly went out and without any doubt, made no bones about it that your story was a lie. And in fact, Amal bin Laden herself says your story was a lie. And then if you need any more than that, the White House said your story was a lie. And you're going to sue me? That lawyer is going to be a busy lawyer. That's going to be a busy lawyer if you're going to go suing people that question your story.
Because you'll be busy taking checks from Rob to the bank. That's the only thing his lawyer is going to be doing.
For sure. Let's see here. Just make sure that I made all my points that I wanted to make. The one thing that's just and I don't ever want anyone to, and they'll twist my words, but I am venting a little bit publicly. I don't know why Sean didn't ask some more follow-up questions, because he had Rob on and he knows this is a controversy and he had someone else in the room and let him talk. And Sean is good about that. Heck, he's better than me about that, just letting someone tell their story. But he's done it before with John McPhee, and he's done it with some other people where if it doesn't make sense, he'll ask a couple follow-up questions and just drill down a little bit. But he didn't ask Matt in any questions that would have said, hold on, I had someone else on this exact show that told a very different story. So let me just ask a couple questions. Matt, how many people were in the room when this happened? Matt, I'm sure Matt would have answered. Matt told his story, but it's just a lack of follow-up questions. I don't know why, but that's okay. I hope we go to court and I'll ask all the follow-up questions in the world. Well, we won't need to, because there'll be plenty of people who will have to be subpoenaed who never really wanted to do this, but Rob made them. I'm going to stop there for just a little bit. I got a lot more that I want to say about this, but let me talk to you guys about this and see what the Super Chats have to say.
All right, Super Chats. Unfortunately, because I've been flying around the internet, Super Chats are no longer, so I got to open that up.
Yeah.
Take me a sec.
That's fine. Open that up. We'll go over a few more things right here.
Interesting. All right, Percy, $50, man. Thank you for the love. We really appreciate it.
Now this
gonna need that gas money going to New York.
I'll say that, and I appreciate that. And this is this is always a little bit of a concern. I just being open and honest and airing this out. I'm sure if this turns into a war of resources, Rob has at least has a chance of winning. It doesn't always pay to do the right thing, because he's been heavily rewarded with this lie, which is the other thing I actually want to bring up about what's crazy about this lawsuit. Drew, can you take just that one? It's on a delay, so it's just really hard to watch. Is you think I'm the reason you're not getting public speaking engagements anymore? I don't know. Maybe you're getting charged with a DUI as a public figure doesn't help with your speaking engagements. I don't know. Getting arrested for public intoxication at a hotel in Texas and getting into a fight with a security guard and then calling him the N-word and that having to go public. You don't think that had a little bit to do with your lack of speaking engagements after that? So I think.
Are you kidding me? He called somebody a nitwit? Dang, Rob.
He did.
The N-word.
Yeah.
Hard T.
But
Yeah,
nitwit.
hard T. Nitwit.
Nitwit.
Yeah, hard T's.
Dang.
You don't think that has anything to do with maybe you having a hard time with getting a speaking engagements? So I'd look in the mirror, Rob, and see if maybe you should sue yourself for defamation. I think that has a little more to do with it. That story gets even crazier for a couple reasons. The security guard he called the N-word. He was an old white guy. Just why? Well, that doesn't even make sense. Oh, by the way, this isn't the first time Rob is sued for defamation, because after he did that, again, instead of taking responsibility and be like, "Oh, sorry, I got drunk, had to be removed, had to be walked back to my room. Sorry, I got into an altercation with an older gentleman that was just doing his job," and then called him the N-word. What do you think he did? Sued him for defamation.
Yeah, that's right.
Guess where that lawsuit went?
Nowhere.
So he has a history of doing this and not looking good because of it. So it's a little bit, again, another little bit of a history on Rob. Drew, what do you got for super chats? Got those things up?
Super chats.
Let's do it.
That one was Percy. Thank you, brother. Dumb Vita says, Ephesians 6:14, fight the good fight, gents.
We're going to.
Absolutely. IP Freely. Hey, Brian. How do you know when a joke becomes a dad joke? When it becomes apparent.
I'll take that.
Nice.
You know, that's a little bit of the lightheartedness we need.
That's right. That's right. Thursday nights for the men. All right. Glaucoma says, so where are the lawsuits for Nate, David Hookstead, and Andy Stumpf?
That's a good question. And if you guys don't know what he's referring to, Nate from Valhalla has called out Rob O'Neill, because it's easy to, based on what other people have said.
So David, the White House.
Yeah, again, sue the White House, buddy. David Hookstead has come out and refuted Rob's story for a essentially a podcast journalist. We'll call, I don't know, it's kind of a hybrid of what he does. Let me tell you, David Hookstead has connections into the special operations world that I would say rival mine. And I'm just, not to be
Got friends
loud
in
about
places.
it. Yeah. But to get my connections, I had to go a lot of places and do a lot of things. David Hookstead can get to the bottom and can pick up a phone and call just about anyone in the special operations community within a call or two. And David Hookstead came to the same conclusion, not based off experience and connections like me, because he doesn't have the experience, but he has the connections. And it's not like, 50% of the people I talk to kind of side with Rob's story that he was the lone shooter, the guy who did it all, and the other 50% that were there say differently. No, of the guys that were on the ground, of the operators, they all have the same story. And guess what? Rob had the same story for while he was in the command. I asked people the same question. Hey, did Rob ever say anything like this, like while he was still in his squadron and then got fired from his squadron, had to go to another one. And they're like, no, Rob never said that because you can't BS the guys who were there. So he didn't come up with this cockamamie scheme until after he left.
So was the book the first time
yeah.
that narrative came out?
Yeah, the book for book and speaking engagements is in the book essentially. And who was the third person on? Oh, Andy Stumpf. Andy's a professional. In fact, I'm gonna go to Andy's podcast next week. Andy, I'm trying to think exactly who it was. I believe it was Evan Hafer, Mike Glover, and Andy Stumpf. They were on a podcast, and Mike Glover was kind of regurgitating something that he had heard about that maybe it was just a pile-on shooting, but Rob, but he heard Rob was the killer, and Mike Glover even said something like, I think it's pretty much known that Rob was the shooter, and looked at Andy, or Andy spoke up and goes, well, let's just say from I've got to paraphrase him. Where I come from, that's not exactly what how that story is told. So even Andy, former operator from the same organization, who has ties to people, many ties to people who are still there, in a very professional way, but in a stern way as well. We're like, nah, maybe that's not exactly what happened. So it's the same thing, whether it be Tim Kennedy, whether it be Rob O'Neill. It's just another case of why do you think it is these two, and we'll just specifically talk to Rob O'Neill, if that's the truth, you just want to blame it on haters because that's the easy, oh, you're just jealous you're not famous. You're just bringing down vets. Like just all these things he wants to do to discount it. Rob or the audience, why do you guys think this is such a drama-filled thing? It's not because we love drama. We love the truth. We love integrity. And if this really happened, do you think there would be all this controversy surrounding it? Why do you think there's so much controversy surrounding it? Not from the outside, because from the outside, some people just love drama and love a good story. Why do you think from the inside, from the special operations community, this is such a big deal? Because it didn't happen the way he said it happened, and he did it for fame, and he did it for money.
But remember, Brent, I like the way you put it, because some people are like, well, who cares? He's a vet. He's an American hero, and we don't want to take anything away from Rob O'Neill. All those are true. He's a great operator. But the same people that would say that are the same people that,
thank you,
if you gave the wrong athlete the accolade or the praise for the touchdown, run or catch or whatever it would be, or the 3-point shot at the last second, those same people would have a conniption fit if you gave it to the wrong teammate.
Drew, they'd lose their mind. Yeah. They'd lose their mind if you said the third string quarterback threw the game-winning touchdown for the Super Bowl and you didn't give that credit to Tom Brady. They'd lose their mind.
Over a game.
Instead
of real life.
But when it comes to this, they're like, well, who cares who shot him as long as he's dead? Boy. You wouldn't have that. Well, who cares who threw the touchdown as long as we won? Absolutely not. So
it's our milquetoast culture, man. It's our milquetoast culture. They got their priorities upside down.
Remember that. I have a video coming up that shows our milquetoast culture. But back to Super Chats for now.
All right, we got Kenny Forbes says, God bless you guys and everyone in the chat tonight. There's no honor in lying. Very good. About your service, especially at that level. Outro. My Mind is a Mountain by Deftones. $20.
Deftones. I love Deftones. I love their dark melody, the way they sing it. They love them.
All right, Neil's doing his best with $2 for a closeout song. Notorious Big. Who Shot Ya?
Well, you've already been beaten by Deftones. But I don't think we've ever had a rap song went out yet.
Not yet.
Well,
no, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Gooch Parm Actual says Rob wanted to make it tonight, but due to scheduling conflict, he'll be giving a speaking engagement about the Bin Laden raid at the local Applebee's, part of his community service.
Yes.
Raven23 says, hey, Brent and Drew. Got my name right, but not yours. Okay. With the lawsuit, would it force the identity of Red? For the outro, can we do House of Cards by Deadlands?
Oh, got him by a penny.
Recommend reading the lyrics. Love y'all and the coffee. Thank you, Raven.
No, not necessarily, because I believe what would end up happening because of the sensitivity of this, it would end up being a closed court session, and all names would be redacted. So no, I don't believe that's what would happen. Now, let me get ahead of something real quick. And of course, he lists a few other people in his defamation, and he touts this one all the time, and it kills me. Well, Admiral McRaven said that I was the shooter. And Admiral McRaven does. And I had to go look in his book and see exactly what McRaven says. And McRaven does credit him. But make no mistake about it. Admiral McRaven was in Afghanistan when this went down. He was hundreds of miles away watching it from an ISR video, had no idea what was going on the ground. Who do you think told McRaven that? Rob O'Neill. That's called circular reporting. And put him on the stand. I'm about 3 questions away from picking him apart and being like, oh, so you ended up getting your story from Rob O'Neill about Rob O'Neill. So I think we'll believe the guys who were actually on the ground, the guys who were actually a part of the AAR, the guys who saw it happen and would sit around the campfires and tell their story. The guys who actually did the job, their story weighs in about 1,000 times more than someone who watched it from an ISR screen from the air conditioning. So I wouldn't worry too much about him. The other one, which is always the guy who rides his coattails, and it was the dog handler that night. And the dog handler was doing an outside sweep when this happens. This dog handler is a friend of Rob O'Neill's. And I've heard that before, and people misquote him. And people are like, well, he says in his book. I went and read his book, or that part of his book, because I'm not going to read his whole book. And the only thing he says is he was asking, hey, who shot him? Like on the radio, like is he dead? Did we get him? And Rob O'Neill answers on the radio, yeah, we got him. That's a radio call answer of we got him from a guy who was on the outside and he was a dog handler. He's not an assaulter. So we will have plenty of other assaulters and operators that will all have. I haven't had one operator, not a single operator, ever talk to me, reach out to me and be like, hey, Brent, you're wrong. Rob's story is right.
Yeah.
Not a single one. So you can use McRaven's big name all you want, but
he's got to consider his source.
He has to consider his source.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, if you want big names to be to trump just because their name and their titles mean more than anything, well, you can have McRaven. I'll take the White House on my side. Checkmate.
That's the white side. That's the white side to be on.
Go.
That wasn't a racial thing. That was just play on words. All right, let's see. Says Wesley says, just wanted to say that I'm a really big fan of your work. Thanks.
I appreciate that. And you know what? Learning the hard way now. I shouldn't say learning the hard way. I've always been prepared for this, but no good deed goes unpunished. It's hard to be truth in the dark.
Doop.
See what I did there, Drew?
Yeah, that was good. That was nice.
Shout out to
Good phrase.
Drew's podcast.
Truth in the Dark Pod. Sounds like a really cool podcast.
Yeah.
I'd search it on YouTube.
We can go back to, I'm not comparing myself to Charlie Kirk, but what I'm saying is if you tell the truth long enough, loud enough, people will hate you just for telling the truth, regardless of how much logic, reason, eyewitnesses, how much you have on your side. They will just call you a hater and they will just hate you and know nothing about you. So thank you so much for saying that.
See, Ken says, we stand with you, Brent Tucker, our favorite Green Beret. Yeah. I'll keep donating to the show or legal fund as needed. Truth can't be bullied into silence.
Absolutely. We're going through with it.
That's right.
We're doing it.
And, we've had someone in the chat, and it's okay that they said this, and they're like, it's not smart to do this, while litigation or before litigation, stuff like that. And that's the...
I'm not saying anything that I haven't said before.
Right. And when you don't have anything to hide, you don't have anything to hide. I hate it when people who are, going through some type of legal battle and then they don't say anything. Now, sometimes there's a gag order. I understand that.
Right.
But, if you're innocent, you got nothing to hide, just go ahead and say the situation.
Washington Post was the first one to put out that story, and it irritated the crap out of me. I was on an airplane coming back, and that's when I got a text message of them reaching out to me saying, hey, we're running this story. You're being sued by Rob O'Neill. Would you like a comment? And by the time I landed, they'd already, within an hour or two, printed and released the story. And in the story, it says, we reached out to Brent, and he basically, whatever, he had no comment or was unable to reach him for comment, which was crappy because the people who won't comment back usually have something to hide. So only Rob's part of the story when it comes to the Washington Post got put out, and they didn't give me an opportunity. I absolutely would have taken that opportunity to talk to the Washington Post and say these same things, and had a lot of people go, oh, hold on. Well, maybe there's more to this. So shame on you, Washington Post. Do better.
Jay Grizzly says, my wife said I'm starting to get a bad bod.
Dad bod.
Dad bod. I filed a defamation lawsuit this morning. Get her, buddy. Get her. I like that. Marcus, the Swede, says the Swedish Vikings are here to support.
Oh, thank you, brother. I'm telling you, I didn't know how to, and it's not over. I may start taking a whole lot of tough questions that I'm here for. I'm here for the tough questions. But for you guys to come out and support me like this, to have a lot of people watching and you guys supporting me, you have no idea how good that feels and how appreciative I am on this.
There's been a lot of people, in the past that have been like, why do you guys call out, these vets? Well, we call them out to keep the community, accountable. And you're the kind of guy that's supposed to do it. If anybody's going to do it, it's supposed to be the community.
Absolutely.
But I think the question is not why are good, truthful men calling out men who are having a problem with the truth. I think a bigger problem is why would a vet sue another vet for $25 million? That's a much different level than just talking crap or trying to get the story straight on YouTube. You know what I mean?
So you're telling me
where do you get that number from, by the way? $25 million?
$1 million. $25 million. And if that's true, that and I'm sure it's like extrapolated out to 20 years of speaking engagements.
Yeah.
If it makes it even worse, if there's a possibility this guy could have made $25 million over the next 20 years over lost revenue from speaking engagements, it should show you how absolutely more important telling the truth is. That this guy almost cashed in on $25 million by stealing the credit of the men around him. If that doesn't fire you up, if that doesn't fire you up to go over there and start questioning Rob and be like, wait, you're telling me you didn't do this for money? You're telling me, why is no one, they'll come to me and ask me the hard questions because it's easy to punch down. It's easy to punch down. No big name is going to go back to Rob and be like, oh, hey, because they can't do their homework. The little guys will do our homework. And you can't go, you don't think it's weird? Can you explain why the White House said that Amal was not a human shield? And that seems to be such a big part of your story. Isn't that odd? Amal bin Laden herself says a team of Navy SEALs came in. Matt Bissonnette, who was there, says a different story than you, that Red killed Osama bin Laden and 4 guys went in there. We just go on and on. There was a tweet from a guy who was on the raid that is adamant about you not being the killer and your story being wrong. Why do you ask me the hard questions on little things and just completely give him the benefit of the doubt and just assume that I'm a hater when my actions of life have proven completely different about the type of person I am? You can look at my background. You can look at what I do. And Rob's the just undisputed one you're going to go with all these questions. Interesting.
Well, I'd add to that the people in the past who have said that you have done this for the money. I think we know who's in it for the money.
He also won't admit that you're a tier 1 operator either.
Oh, I love it. I love how he tries to hide my name and hide my podcast and won't be like, I won't mention them and give them any more credit. You know what?
You didn't do anything.
If I was you, Rob, and again, it just goes to show why don't you want them listening to anything? Why are you so scared of them hearing an episode like tonight that so clearly and logically lays out an argument and be like, well, maybe you haven't been honest, Rob. Maybe it's time to be honest.
You're a nobody.
Well, I hate to say it,
but
ironically enough,
for $25 million because you're a nobody.
And that's fine. I'm not here. I'm not here for that. I'm either here to the few times that I have to, hold veterans responsible, and I hope I don't have to be honest with you. I hope the work we've done, keeps me from ever having to do that. And the rest of the podcast that I've done in my short history so far here has been all positive stories of veterans.
And we still haven't seen any of this money that we're supposed to get from telling these stories.
Wait.
Yeah, maybe checks in the mail.
Yeah.
All right, we got Soli says, you may recall I asked you if you faced legal action by those you're criticized. You said no, as then things would come out. Why has Rob sued then? Also wish you guys the best for the upcoming battle. I'll support. And hi, Drew. Hi, Soli.
No, that's a valid question. And I still believe that. I don't. Again, I'll just say it one more time. It's a win-win situation for me in this aspect. I'm either not going to have to spend a ton of money fighting for what's true anyway, by him not wanting to take it to court. I don't believe it's going to go to court. I think this is a publicity stunt, and this is going to backfire in his face. Or, in the small chance it does go to court, I'm gonna subpoena everyone. I know their names.
Yeah. Well, usually the stuff like this is a stunt to get people to intimidate people legally, to get them to be quiet. And we weren't saying anything till Rob said, make sure your house is clean and all that other stuff. But it's a legal tactic to get people to just he calls his lawyer, say, how do I get these guys to shut their mouths? I guess is what it is. And because these type of threats of lawsuit happen all the time, and they never go anywhere. It's just a tactic.
Right. He must need money because he's broke and needs money.
Well, I don't know if he's broke.
Well, I'll tell you what he's not going to get. He ain't going to get $25 million.
Not going to get it from us.
He's not. And he'll be worse off for it, because you know what he's going to get? Either a case that doesn't go to court, or is going to go to court and he's going to lose, and he'll have less money than what he started with. Bold maneuver, Rob. Let's see how this plays out.
All right, let's see. We've got Joe Saunders says Rob is single-handedly changing Tier 1 operations and operators. Tier 1, the Rob being just Rob. Just saying.
Well, Drew, you skipped one, and that was it's. And I
I'm
don't want anyone to think that we would ever skip a hard, and it happened to be a hard question.
Oh, it's because it was solely twice. My bad. All right.
No big deal.
What will you do if TK, SOB, Marcus also sue? How will you handle the legal fees?
I hate to say I don't worry about that. I'll say it. If anyone was going to sue, I thought it'd be Tim. I really did.
Right.
I thought it'd be Tim.
Yeah, because there was a lot more going on.
And the only reason, I say the only reason, a couple of reasons. One of the reasons why I believe he didn't sue is because the same thing that's going to happen. He's going to have to. We're going to bring in witnesses, and he knows that he didn't tell the truth. So I'm sure he wanted to, but at some point he realized, oh crap! If this goes to, it'd be much better for Tim to play this out in the court of public opinion, where you can kind of hide in some gray areas and just hope that your massive following won't listen to this.
Right.
Then take it out to court and then be proven wrong.
Yeah.
Trust me, if I was wrong with anything on Tim Kennedy, he absolutely would have sued. Same thing with John McPhee. I don't worry about it. And again, I don't think this thing's going to court. I'll say it again. It's a publicity stunt. And if it does, it'll be a gift.
And I just want to be clear to everybody out there who supports us, and we really appreciate your support. Brent is not saying he's not worried about legal fees because he's loaded with money, because he's not. We're not worried about it because of the content of information. So we thank you, Patreon members. We thank you for the super chats. It is needed. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
What do we get? Oh, what?
It's no one's lawyers who do believe we're in our cause. Don't get me wrong; they believe in what they're doing and what they're defending, but they don't. Not enough to do it pro bono. So, all right. Oh, you got to fix
For now.
See if we can get back.
Now I got to find out where I was.
Yeah, where you left. I already see David Hooks in there. I'm glad he asked that question. I want to get to that one.
A lot of super chats tonight.
Gosh, there's a lot of super chats. Let's when we get back there, let's right there. You got it. Yep. Let's get after it.
All right. Solely again, can SEAL leadership help by revealing truth? Will SEAL Team 6 guys help you? Also, will you ever shave your beard? Does Drew think he has a better beard?
Drew does have a better beard right now, but don't worry, it's coming back. SEAL leadership will have to help, because if they get subpoenaed and have to sit on a chair and put their hand on the Bible, they're gonna have to tell the truth. ST6 guys will absolutely help, and SEAL leadership and ST6 leadership have already helped, because early on, here's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. Just reminds me. Rob O'Neill's PNG'd from his old unit. Why do you think they PNG'd him? Persona non grata, not welcome back. If he told the truth, and his book is blessed off of by the DOD. And by the way, I have to say it again, because Rob loves to work in a gray area, because not everyone knows what the definition of certain things is. Just because the DOD approved his book doesn't mean the DOD doesn't go to books and say, hey, let me make sure that what you're saying is true. The only thing they look for is that you're not giving away secrets or tactics that you shouldn't. They don't go and check your story at all. But guess who did check your story or knew your story? The guys that you used to work with. And guess what they did? They PNG'd you, Rob. And you don't like to talk about that. And you're probably not too happy that I know that. That's fine. Sue me.
All right. Keith from 2A Boys just text me.
Throw another $1 million on there. Sue me for $26 million now.
Thank you, Keith. 2A Boys says, you know what, Brent? We're also covered with prayer, the power of prayer. So thank you, Keith. 2A Boys.
All right, let's get back to it. AJ, $10.
AJ says, why not just banish Rob to Tokyo?
That's
He can open up a UBL raid themed bar where tourists can take pictures, buy drinks, and he can tell his version of the story to anyone willing to listen.
I think that would be the best thing he could do.
Valhalla VFT.
Nate.
I've heard of them. As a public figure, Rob has a different set of requirements to prove defamation. He has to prove reckless malice, showing Brent knew Rob's story was true and intentionally lied about it. Impossible to win. Bold strategy.
There's, and that's a great point. Like from a legal standpoint alone, the chance of this getting to court just shows what a publicity stunt this is. And if that's the type of moves that you pull, Rob, that you have to pull to get people to notice you again, okay, that's who you are.
To what extent can Rob engage in a long legal battle? Does he make it rich?
I don't know his financial situation.
Mr. Polite, good to see you again, brother. Brett, welcome back. Hope you were able to grab all the books I sent you.
Did.
Hope Magnet is doing well also.
I'm good. Thank you. I'm here.
Is there a chance there would be a Fred Galvin episode?
Fred Galvin. I don't know who Fred Galvin is, but I love it when people do this because sometimes I look, I'm like, oh man, I didn't even know who that was, and I should have. So I also might read that and look and like, oh yeah, I actually forgot. I know who that guy is. So I'm interested to see which one that falls under.
All right. Chase Lee says, evening, gents, drinking some bourbon with the boys for the boys. I'd like to shout out, is that
Staff Sergeant
Juan Rivadeneira?
Maestro.
Is that Corporal?
Yeah.
Jacob Carver and Specialist Jacob Carroll. KIA, 15 years ago today. Zari, District, Afghanistan. Rest in peace, brothers.
Absolutely. Chase, thanks for doing that. Thanks for putting their names up there and letting everyone hear their names and know their sacrifice one more time.
Corn Pop, thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. Jason A., I am confused. Does this mean Rob is not getting a Tier 1 Christmas card?
No, I'm not that petty. In fact, this only solidifies him on the list. He's absolutely getting a Christmas card.
You know, it would have been easier for him to just come on the show.
I've given him. You know this. Anyone who follows me knows this. I keep personal things personal,
Yep.
and people say things. Thank you, ma'am. That just aren't true because they don't know, and I get it because I keep things personal. How would they know unless they're like, this should have been handled behind the scenes. This should have never been public. These two should just call each other and work that out. Well, here's my question: how do you know I didn't? How do you know that I didn't give Rob O'Neill my phone number and said, "Call me," and he said he would? I've never received a call from Rob O'Neill, and this was at the very beginning. But even then, it wouldn't have mattered a whole lot. I have a problem with that. Hey, this needs to be handled privately. That's not for me to do. I now, to correct the record and to ensure that people are held accountable and that veterans have better think twice before you lie to the American public. They're the ones who brought their lies publicly right off the get-go. If they were lying privately, then I would address this privately. But once they go public about it, then now it's something to be discussed on a public stage. Yeah. And even though that's true, I have reached out to these people and I have tried to talk to them personally. So I just want that to be out there.
You've also invited them on the podcast too.
And the Drinking Bros early on was like, why don't you come on Drinking Bros and talk about this? And I said, okay, I will. And that's not let me defend Drinking Bros, which I didn't really think I'd do early on. But you know what? Those guys were defending a friend and they didn't know any better. And there's a reason for, I don't know why. I shouldn't say this. I was going to say, there's a reason they didn't bring me on. I don't know why they didn't bring me on. But with history on my side and everything else I've done and being right, those guys see things a little differently now. And that's fine. Like, hey, like, I don't expect everyone to be right, like right off the bat. But
but you never denied him not to come on anything to talk public about it and defend himself either. So
I can have a cordial conversation with anyone. 100%. I don't. Nancy Pelosi could come here tonight. I'd have a cordial conversation. I would press her on things, but I'd have a cordial conversation with people.
Just goes to show, guys, if you want a Christmas card from Brent, all you got to do is sue him. All right.
Just join Patreon and send me your address. There's much easier ways to do it.
All right. Sully says, would Delta have done Osama bin Laden raid better than SEAL Team 6, or are they equal to Delta standards?
I don't know that you could have done that raid better. All bad guys disposed of. All the good guys came home.
That's awesome.
No, you couldn't have done that raid better. So no, the Delta Force could not have done that raid better. We could have only hoped to have held the same standard that those boys did that night.
Iceman says, just showed up. Sorry for being late. Rob O'Neill is a limited purpose public figure. That boy has a whole new set of rules. With a defamation case, public figures must prove actual malice. He messed himself over.
I believe you to be right, but I also don't want to be naive enough to not prepare for this and be like, this will never happen, and then get caught. So we're preparing for it.
Marco says, can't help but to feel that if CAG had handled things, nothing like this would have happened.
Yeah, there's bad apples in every organization. I'd like to think that's true, but there's no guarantee. But I'd like to think that's true. But that's also my let me make this clear. That's also my biasness. You're damn right I'm biased, as I should be.
Bob says, amongst other things, didn't he concede publicly the actual person who shot UBL was Red?
I can't ever say I've seen everything he's ever put out. Especially when I was doing prep for that show, I think I watched everything the guy's ever put out. No, he hasn't, but he has gone back and forth. He polished up his speech a little bit better. Early on, he used to give Red a little bit of credit and be like, Red may have shot around before I got there, or he may not have. I don't know. That's Red's story to tell. And he knows that's even too much information, so he quit saying that. As far as I know, the most he's ever done was give Red credit for shooting at something that Rob doesn't know. But I said this in the other podcast where I did the whole breakdown. If Red shot at something, if a Tier 1 operator from SEAL Team 6 lets a round go on target, it's hitting somebody, and it's hitting a bad guy. That's why they're the best. Or at least equally the best as with another Tier 1 unit. So that makes no sense at all. And that would be another question. Well, if Red shot at something, then Rob, what did Red shoot at? He just wasn't throwing out celebratory shots. But of course, he that's why he quit saying that later, because he knew he was opening himself up for something.
Joe Saunders says, honest question and no joke. If Rob was telling the truth, were they not instructed to not shoot UBL in the face for identification purposes? So he violated orders by his own admission, just saying.
So again, because everyone I've talked to has had the same story, the not shooting him in the face it's not something you could get in trouble with, because Red did. Red shot him in the face. Like,
it's the only thing he showed.
Right. It's something that if you can keep from happening, but it's definitely not an order that you get in trouble with. The reason why Rob was in trouble with his teammates of sorts is because he did shoot him in the face, but after he was down and dead, and there was no reason to put security rounds into that and continue to mess up his face when we did need positive identification. which made the original kind of positive identification kind of hard. He was not a very popular person by his teammates when he did that, because again, that was a selfish and almost boneheaded move that he knew better, but he did what he wanted to do.
Well,
there's a theme there. He did what he wanted to do.
Yeah. Well, according to Matt Bissonet's, testimony on the Sean Ryan show, right? I mean, Bin Laden stuck his head out, and that's why he got shot initially like that. So I guess by the time Rob O'Neill walked in, he looks at the body and goes, "Oh, I guess we're shooting in the face." I don't know.
Yeah, no, he would. Honestly,
speculation.
Right, speculation. He wouldn't have known, because you're living in this green world under nods on a zero loom night.
Yeah. You
don't really you don't see, you see really well for seeing in the dark, but you don't see that well. Let's go ahead and take a break real quick. We'll get back to super chats. Drew, if you don't mind, you want to fire up the Venjenz ad. Let's see. I'm good now.
That's cool. That ending on that.
I know.
That advertisement is cool, man.
They have the best video and great products. I use them. They're great products.
I do too.
Which one?
Venjenz. The anti-pharmaceutical.
I was there when he was on the podcast.
A great one. The next one, we'll talk about Brotherhood Blades, another sponsor of the live. They've been a sponsor for live shows I've been part of for a long time. In fact, they sent a bunch of knives for me to give out to our guests. So each one of our guests gets a Brotherhood Blade knife with Tier 1 engraved on it. Those guys are the absolute best. In fact, their pocket knife has been one. I usually lose my pocket knives, maybe because I love it so much. I have not lost that one, and I carry it with me everywhere. Because here's another thing that I always think is true. I'm not exactly, you'd think I am, a knife collector. A Christmas is coming up. If you don't know what to get a friend, the man in your life, your dad, get him a knife. There's not a single man that's ever got a knife and ever looked at him like, another knife? I don't need another knife. So, hey, consider Brotherhood Blades. Use the promo code Tier 1 and get 10% off for Brotherhood Blades. Great company. Last but not least, Cloud Defensive. They're dedicated to optimizing your gear through innovative design, technology, and materials. From industry-leading weapon lights to handheld flashlights, their products set the standard for excellence in illumination, ensuring you're always equipped for success. Use Tier 1 promo code for 15% off. And this is something really cool that Cloud Defensive does. Besides you getting 15% off, they're going to donate 15% off to the Cat 2 Foundation. Drew, they only paid for one video. They don't get two.
Yeah, it's a
now we got to charge them double for it.
It sucks.
They also donate 15% to the Cat 2 Foundation. The Cat 2 Foundation is the nonprofit that is set up for and through FRCC, and that's how cops receive free training. That's how they receive donations of fallen officers to injured officers. So for them to donate back to that is really, really cool. Probably this month I'll end up doing a Patreon video showing how I use a white light, the reasons to use a white light. I assure you, if you don't have a white light on your gun, you are not prepared to get into an engagement. Last but not least, I think we covered them all. Just want to make sure we do, because we're going to need to make them completely happy so we can continue to pay legal fees. I think I got them. It's been let's do this. Let's have a little bit of let's step back just from the super chats, from the heaviness of lawsuits and stolen valor. Drew, pull up old KingPixMedia. Every live, I'm going to pick, because we want to support veterans, we want to support first responders, we want to support those types of people. KingPixMedia is on Instagram. He's one of the funniest people in the business, a veteran that's doing it right, and he cracks me up. And we're going to watch an episode of his. A clip of his. Almost everyone. Go ahead, Drew. Yeah, there you go. You got it.
Honestly, when it comes down to it, if slow is smooth and smooth is fast, I can definitively say I'm slow. I'm smooth. I'm smooth because I'm fast. They've been calling me slow my whole life. You guys hear that?
They're always quick. They make me laugh every time, and it reminds me. It reminds me of an OTC instructor I had, and I hate to cuss, but sometimes I just have to quote people. And he goes, he's giving us a shooting class, and guys, hey, you guys heard the saying, right? Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. And we're like, okay, yes, I've heard that. This is what he wants from us. And he goes, fuck that. Slow is slow and fast is fast. Be fast. And after he kind of just broke that, just shattered that saying in my mind, I realized, you know what? That is stupid. Slow is smooth and no, slow is slow and fast is fast. That saying makes no sense. Slow will never equal fast. I get why they say it, but it is kind of funny. We've heard that saying and we all accept it. And that saying's a lie.
In a lot of cases. In a lot of cases.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Again, great saying.
Yeah.
That saying's a lie. That's all
Brent,
right.
Never judge a book by its cover, Brent.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started on that one. Oh man. Hey, guys, if you want to support him, please go to his channel. KingPixMedia on Instagram, all the social media platforms. Follow that guy. I'm gonna keep promoting that guy, and until we double him, then we'll find the next veteran and highlight him. Also go to his website, KingPixMedia.com, and you can see all the different things that he does. He's got great shirts. When I teach SWAT teams, if I ever use the word punch out and go to work, that's from him. And when I say it, there's always be like 2 or 3 guys from the class that'll start to smile. I'm like, they get it. They know that's a KingPixMedia quote. All right. Comedy over for a little bit. We'll get to those next 2 videos here in a little bit. Let's get back to Super Chat so we don't fall too far behind, which I'm afraid
Let's go
we
to a
already
quick
have.
video.
You want to keep doing videos?
Just one more video.
What I say? What
The black and white one is.
They're a pair. Then what do you call it? Not French toast, milk toast culture.
Milk toast culture, buddy.
Yeah. Let me tell you what your grandfather used to do to jump out of an airplane. Go look at that black and white one. The other side of the plane. See the guys up on in the fuselage, just like, you know what? I'm not going to wait for that. I'm just going to fall off the fuselage.
Wow. I've never seen that.
I've never seen that either. Now, go to the next clip.
Okay. All right.
Now, here's
It's a twofer.
That's the worst jump I've ever seen.
So he didn't do a side kick going out of the fucking plane, right?
I would have. I almost said, I don't know what I'd do if I ever saw someone try to safely exit an airplane by sitting on his butt and then gently getting off the aircraft.
Video that you sent me of you jumping out of the plane doing a side kick.
That's right. Yeah.
That's
I'll go
gangster.
out doing backflips and jump kicks but if a guy ever did that, I'm telling you, I would kick him so hard in his parachute and send him out of that plane, and then we'd have words on the ground. Like, that's crazy. And if those two videos don't show you a generational difference, nothing will.
How many jumps did they do before that jump?
Anyway, okay. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. That was,
I never jumped out of a plane. I'm just saying.
You've never jumped out of a plane,
I've never jumped out.
but you know
I'm
that
scared to
second
even get on a plane.
You know that second video was wrong.
Yeah, it was definitely wrong.
You don't have to be a paratrooper to look at that video and be like, that ain't right.
If I'm jumping out of a plane, I'm jumping out of a plane.
That's right. Gosh. And that's what's crazy about it. So it's him trying to make that safer. He made it more dangerous. And the other real selfish thing about that, it took him so long to do that. You only have a certain window to get out of the plane to land on the LZ. Yeah. If that guy taking that much time to get out for his own personal safety ended up putting guys into the tree, that better have been his last jump of his military career.
Maybe he likes to ruck.
Dang it. I don't know why it went that way. It went from a funny video to now to me being angry about it.
But you have to be serious about that kind of stuff. Like, that kind of stuff puts other people in danger.
It sure does. It sure does. All right. Well, what else we got?
All right. So he says, if a Delta guy did what Rob did, how would Delta leadership and members respond?
Well, that's a good question, and I'm proud to say that that we don't know because it's never happened.
I don't know. We have a Delta member in here that has responded. So,
yeah.
With a
no, I don't want to make it an us versus them thing. I'll just leave it at that. We don't know because we haven't done it.
Let's see. Sully says, you think Sean Ryan is an honest guy? Why hasn't he put a disclaimer on Rob's video on his channel he did for TK?
I will tell you this. Just because you're slow to action isn't always a bad thing. Sean was even slow to action on the Rob thing. And I will say this. I think having a platform that big comes with added scrutiny and being a little more careful because you sway people, a mass audience. And so for him to kind of wait and ensure that what he does is right, I'm not mad about that.
But it's also apples and oranges, right? I mean, you've got Rob's got one questionable story and TK has a book full.
Well, it's a pretty big questionable story.
Yeah.
It's what.
Well, of course.
It's the only thing he's known for.
Yeah, it's a big one.
The only thing he's known for is a lie. Think about that.
Yeah. All right. Jacob says, don't worry, Brent Tucker. We won't let the Antifa whistleblower win this. By the way, shout out to Michael Thompson, killed in Afghanistan on April 29th, 2019. Rest in peace, bud. I'll see you again soon.
Man, 2019. That's late in the war. That's not that it's more sad. Every one of them's sad. Every ounce of American bloodshed 100%. is sad. Man, 2019. He's got to be one of the last.
Heroed out official says, why don't you have Biss on? Have you talked with him about this?
Absolutely. I talked to Biss. In fact, a funny story of how I got a hold of Biss. I wanted to talk to Biss before I did my Exposing Rob O'Neill podcast because he was public and I thought he would talk to me, and I got friends of mine who knew him to reach out to him, and it's kind of one of those funny stories. He didn't know who I was. He didn't know which way I was going with it, and he was just like, "Yeah, I'd just rather not get into it or talk about it." And then after I did the video, almost within 48 hours, he reaches out to me. He's like, "Hey, Brent, were you trying to get a hold of me?" I'm like, well, Yeah, Matt, a little late now. I was really hoping to talk to a guy who was in the room before I did this podcast. Thankfully, I was able to talk to enough other people that I don't want to say that I didn't need him because he still gave me a few some pointers that only a man that was in the room.
Yeah, he was second in line.
That's right. He was second in line.
Front seat row.
Yeah, but I do talk to Biss. He's a great dude. Like I say it time and time again. This is not a controversial story or stories. Every person I talk to backs up Matt's story. Zero backs up Rob. So long answer, yes. Unfortunately, I can't believe he chose to go on the Sean Ryan show before mine. I don't know why. I don't know anyone would do that. Kind of a jerk move, Matt. And I'm gonna slice this up into a short and send it to you. But he is coming on the show. And don't worry, I can complain about Sean Ryan not doing follow-up questions. I'll get my chance to ask Matt, and I won't. I'd like to think I'm not gonna.
I'll impress you with how smart I am, and I will impress you with how dumb I am. That's what Brent likes to say. All right. So I've heard. Preacher says, what do y'all think about the countless U.S. vets who are fighting in Ukraine?
Yeah, maybe it's a weird take. I'm proud of it. It just shows what a war fighter. Yes, we do have this milquetoast culture, but guess what? There are still men in this country who care enough about right and wrong, because what's going on in Ukraine is also a war of right and wrong. And Russia's wrong, and Ukraine's right, and there are still Americans that are like, you know what? I'll grab my gun and I'll go put my money where my mouth is. So it's pretty amazing. I think it's amazing.
Yeah. Justin G. Rob eats Snickers upside down so he can feel the vein.
And now you have a lawsuit against you.
Ken says, we have your back in a war of resources, Brent.
You can't say that with a $2 super chat, Ken.
We like the spirit of it, Ken.
I'm kidding.
Sully, and again, will you work with Tyler to fight against Rob?
Absolutely. He's on the lawsuit. Absolutely.
Thank you, Wade. Thank you very much. Rasha Patterson says, Drew, why didn't you go to Ranger School, and do you think you would have passed?
Why didn't you go to Ranger School?
Why didn't I? Because I didn't join the military.
He might be asking me that question.
Might be.
And I'll tell you why. I went to pre-Ranger School because I absolutely wanted to go to Ranger School. It's one of my biggest regrets is not going to Ranger School, because as I've showed in every other aspect of the military, I did everything I could do in the military. I loved the challenge. I wanted every badge, tab, award, school. I wanted to see what I could do. I went to pre-Ranger, and I was in the Florida National Guard with 20th Group when I went to pre-Ranger. I came back, and pre-Ranger is good for 6 months. And when I came back, when I was like, hey, I need a Ranger School date. Like, this is only going to be good for so long. I went to pre-Ranger at Fort Benning, and the joke is, what's the hardest part about Ranger School? Pre-Ranger, and that's true. Pre-Ranger was not fun. And the state of Florida National Guard was like, hey, we don't need to send him. He's already Special Forces qualified. He doesn't need to go to a leadership school. He's already a Green Beret, which was crazy to me. Well, then why'd you send me to pre-Ranger right off the bat to do the suck and not get the reward of actually going to the school? And you'll send officers all day long who have already been to a leadership school, but you won't send an enlisted man to go to Ranger School. Like always, and that's one of the reasons I preach about windows. You have small windows in your career to do certain things. Never wait. Try as hard as you can at the beginning of your window, not wait till the end of your window, because you don't know when that window closes. After that, I ended up going to war, which is more important than Ranger School. And then shortly after that next deployment, I went to the unit, which was more important than Ranger School. And I just lost my opportunity, but I absolutely tried. And I did go to pre-Ranger. So I'd like to... If someone could mail me a pre-Ranger tab, I will put it on my uniform. I earned it.
I don't know if they make one of those.
They probably do somewhere.
Someone will customize one and send it to you, I bet. Hey, real quick, I want to let everybody know that FRCC is doing something we've never done before. We're doing a Christmas giveaway. So you can go to frcc.shop, and for every $1 you spend at frcc.shop, you will be entered to win. Pretty cool prize worth about $600. It's a humidor signed by Brent, a couple of cases of cigars, got a humidor starter kit, got an ashtray made by a legendary SWAT officer retired here in Florida.
Yep.
So pretty cool stuff. Go to frcc.shop. Every $1 you spend, entered to win.
Also, just because it's the holidays, don't forget about FRCC. Don't forget about our bourbon. We just released our bourbon line, 7-year-old bourbon. You go to our website, click
Brent,
on
it's 7 years old?
Our bourbon is 7 years old.
You don't get that very much.
No, you'll enjoy it.
All right, we got Zulu Whiskey. I forgot about G2. Rock on, boys.
There you go. I didn't.
Magnum handout for Brent's legal fund. Keep up the good work, boys.
Take it. Even if this doesn't go to court, it's going to cost me thousands and thousands, and that's okay. I'll take it.
John says, outro, God's Gonna Cut You Down by Johnny Cash. $5.
I don't know if you guys saw that when this lawsuit first hit. I put that tweet from the other guy on the raid that said Rob O'Neill did not kill Osama bin Laden, and I put his lawsuit at the top of it, and I put the other guy's tweet below it, and I used the Johnny Cash song "God's Gonna Cut You Down" as the song over it.
Solely, and again, shout out to Wesley Pruitt for your mega donations.
Kidding.
I know. Wesley is wonderful. And to all watching, as it all helps a good podcast with a good cause. Thank you, Sully. 100%, man. Really appreciate that. Justin G, Tier 1 Pod needs a Discord server for the boys.
I don't know enough about Discord. Devin, what do you know about Discord?
Yeah, we can do that.
What is Discord?
It's like a chat channel. We can set one up.
Okay.
But it's a lot of work for you on top of Patreon.
Right. Yeah. Could you just go to Patreon?
But does Discord just become a free Patreon? I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Okay.
Kraken Tactical. Are those the guys that make some cool stuff?
They just Kraken. Brotherhood Blades is a sponsor on the show, and it puts me in a bind a little bit. They just sent me some really cool knives.
Yeah, they're pretty.
And I want to show them off, but I never wanted to disrespect Brotherhood Blades. So just so you know, Kraken Tactical, I'm gonna do the right thing. I'm going to talk to Brotherhood Blades and see if they don't mind if I show off your knives, because I really appreciate you doing that as well.
All right, $20 is around 1,171,000
Good gosh.
Lebanese pounds at the moment. Pay him the 25 million in Lebanese pounds. He has a good imagination, so he can imagine it as the same value as USD.
Oh my gosh, I might do that. I might send him a check in Lebanese pounds.
That's it. Man.
David Hookstead was just talking about him.
We were.
David, thanks for watching the show, brother.
Yeah, man. McRaven claims an older elderly woman was used as a human shield. Amal, who the White House says was shot rushing the SEALs, was in her 20s, who is the elderly woman we're just now learning about.
If that, in fact, he just texts to make sure. He goes, not sure if Drew lost super chat and the shuffle, but worth pointing out. And then he wanted to make his point. Like I said, I love David. David
Sharp
does
dude.
his research as well. That's a great point. The guy that you listed as your witness that said, hey, like Admiral McRaven backs up my story. Well, not only does the White House not back up the story that Admiral McRaven went with, because the White House said there was not a human shield of a female. He also gets it wrong and says an elderly woman was used as a human shield. It goes to show the disconnect of admirals and generals when it comes to the ground truth. They're not on the ground. They only know what they're told. And when it comes to the game of telephone, it's not that accurate.
Glaucoma back in says, if Robert TK wanted to set the record straight, they'd accept your invitation instead of pulling 25 million lawsuit out of their arse.
That's just so true. I just think it's the most unmanly thing you could do. Like, I'm gonna sue this guy. That's what ambulance chasers do. But then again, not that different.
John Vincia says TK sits to pee.
And you get a lawsuit.
Guinness 11 says, get Hawk Slater on. His resume is the same size as Everest. Also, will the AAR ever get released?
You know, I will ask. It's a little bit bittersweet. I don't know if this lawsuit will actually be an absolute blessing. All things happen for good for those who love and follow Christ. And allow us access possibly to things that we wouldn't have had access to. But I hope so. Oh, I hope so. But you know, it's so funny. Rob's already tried to pre-position himself about this voice recording. And he was like, well, just so you know, sometimes in AARs we lie and we say things to cover up what really happened. And that's a lie. That's an absolute lie. AARs are just for the boys, and it's just for them to go over what happened and make sure that they did everything as good as they could. And if they didn't, to learn from it. You absolutely would not lie on an AAR. But Rob's already trying to get ahead of that because he is absolutely scared of that audio. You mark my words on that. Which also goes to that. If that audio comes in the court, that won't play well on Rob because now you have a history of lying. So if you're willing to lie on an AAR, you have a history of lying. So you can't be both, Rob. You can't be willing to lie in an AR, but everything you say is the truth. So either way, that doesn't bode well for you. But we won't have to figure out what the truth is in the AR because there will be plenty of other people that will have to come to court that will vouch that the AR is true because that's how we conduct ARs, honestly and openly.
All right, we got people questioning in the chats. We're only halfway through the super chats. So if I haven't read your super chat, it's probably not I missed it. We just haven't gotten to it yet. But I could have missed it. But probably not.
Drew, if it's that, I hate doing this. If it's that bad, though, we might have to go to start with $10 and up super chats. Are we at that point yet?
Well, it's 9:43. All depends on how you want this. Yeah, how long this party wants to go.
Let's
probably need to make them $20 and up. We got a lot of super chats left to go.
All right, let's go. Let's start $10 and up because I want to try to get as many chats done as possible. I don't.
All right, Single Wide says, not sure if you remember, I asked a question during the hot tub episode, and Andy said that he heard a different story about who shot UBL. I had a different username back then.
Okay. That's right. Was he asked during the hot tub? Well, I guess so, because you're saying that. So he's actually been on record twice saying, I heard a different story. So, Andy, watch out. You might get sued too, because that's what men do to men. They just sue each other.
Gooch says, Rob is the Drake of soft.
Drake of soft.
Andrew Stone, 50 Cent Mini Men.
Song.
Oh,
50 Cent
Mini Men. Okay.
$20.
That's a tie. Okay.
Patrick Gilbert says, let's see, moving along, right? Dusty O says, can't wait to watch you and Andy. That's going to be awesome, son. I hope you give Michael, his tech editor guy, a hard time for us. Andy picking on Michael is hilarious. Drew, because it's funny. There it is. Ayikaka. If you know, you know. I think I know that's what it is now, right?
I don't know.
If you know, you know.
I will not confirm or deny.
Last time it was about yelling in kayaks or something. I don't know what it was.
You got to figure it out.
All right, waste some time, says Sean Ryan didn't push back once on Gavin Newsom when Newsom was lying 90% of the interview.
You said it.
Tanker Cat says, hey, Brent and Drew, thanks for speaking the truth and protecting the veterans whose stories are not being told. Happy veterans to those who served and passed.
Absolutely.
Love it.
I'll tell you guys right here. One of the episodes I'm really excited about. We'll get them scheduled here in a little bit. We have a Marine Infantry Ramadi guy from 04. And I cannot wait to hear that Marine story about Ramadi 04. That was nasty.
Is that a conventional military person?
Yep. We're here to tell everyone's stories. Yeah.
Cody says 1,000 faces. Creed for the closeout. Might be a wake up for some of these people out here. Appreciate all you've done and doing, Brent. May the truth always shine in the end. God bless.
Thank you. And I think it will.
Forlon says, sold idiot smart gun, went to office and broke it.
Sold idiot smart gun. Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't a $10 one.
That's all right.
But we read it. All right. We've got your 6. Brent, keep the faith. J.A. Wood.
Thank you. I need it.
Alex G. Brent, on the last podcast, you said you were in the Dominican Republic. How'd you like it? I just got married October 4. I was there from a honeymoon this past month. Enjoyed the beach so much.
I really liked it. It was the first time I ever went to an all-inclusive resort. And what I found out is an all-inclusive resort doesn't really mean all-inclusive. It can, but somehow I ended up spending a lot of money at an all-inclusive resort. But we went to a show called Coco Bongo. There you go. Anyone that goes to the DR, go to Coco Bongo. It starts out weak, but it finishes strong, and it's worth going to. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. One of the reasons I went there is for the cigars, because Drew, as you know, we're in the cigar business. Nicaragua and the DR, heavy cigar places. So it was great.
Joseph Morgan says, you needs to sell some first responder popcorn. We can buy to support you and watch the trial.
That's smart. Hey, just so you guys know, we just got these hoodies in, the Tier 1 Podcast hoodies. I will have them up on the website, I want to say tonight, but in fact, we're probably going to smoke cigars after this and hang out and tell some stories. But it'll be on the frcc.shop website and apparel by tomorrow. They're super soft. They're just like our FRCC hoodies, but they say Tier 1 Podcast. They'll be up on the website tomorrow.
And every dollar you spend gets you entered to win. All right. Max Chang says, I've come to believe that Brent isn't only a great operator, but also a great man. I can't say the same about RN. The fact that RN is trying to ruin Brent is disgraceful. Fight the good fight. We stand with you, Max.
Thank you, Max. Same name as my dog. Max, where you at?
Very well said.
Don't mention Max right now.
Leave him sleeping. Yeah, he's a mess.
Jay Grizzly says Thursday night are for the arse blasters.
Yeah.
So we've heard. Austin Lee says, if we were at war, would it be against the Geneva Convention to force detainees to watch Kamala Harris go number 2? I heard it smells like pickles.
Only for $3.
For $3. What do you say about Pickle Day?
Oh, tomorrow is National Pickle Day.
Tomorrow's National Pickle Day.
Favorite.
Pickle shots.
Pickle shots?
We're doing pickle shots.
We're doing pickle shots tomorrow.
Picklebacks.
Picklebacks. And I hate Jameson, but the pickle juice is so strong it will cancel out the Jameson. So picklebacks for everyone tomorrow.
I don't know. I'm just assuming right now that it tastes good.
It's not bad. I know it's not bad.
The gun says, that tweet you showed says point shoots center mass. Biss follows up and Rob is 4th. But didn't Biss say UBL peeked out and point nailed him in the head, then followed his shots?
That's a fair point. And I can argue that too. But don't worry. If this is the minute details that we're arguing about, or that Rob had said, this would not be the threshold of, hey, hold on, there's different stories out there. If our different stories of exactly where he got shot was it, I'd have never done a podcast over this.
He was 2 people behind the front man anyway, or 3 people. So how would he see it?
Yeah. So we can. This is a part where I do accept there will always be a little, like it's been over a decade. There will be some minor details of stories, but those minor details will never collapse a whole story. It's not Forgetting that there were three other men in the room with you is not a minor detail. Forgetting that, oh, I forgot, I'm not the one who shot him. The point guy was the one who shot him. We're still talking about the same thing, that who shot him. So it's a minuscule detail. I don't mind that you point that out, and that's my answer to that.
All right. Tony says, if you drink Michelob Ultra, you blow on Doritos before you eat them. No.
I don't know
Why
why
would you do that?
I don't know why Michelob Ultra gets so much hate. You want to know the number one beer in America is? You know what it used to be? It used to be
Bud Light.
Modelo, and that used to piss me off. But you know who the number one beer in America is?
No.
I'm drinking it,
Ultra.
buddy.
I'm drinking it too.
So pick one and suck it.
And I got a longer beer than anybody. What to me, drinking.
It's never blown on Doritos before I ate them.
Mick Ultra, if you're listening, please sponsor us.
Mick Ultra sponsor the show.
Hashtag Team Ultra.
Right.
The Mighty Mike says, for legal fees, $20. Appreciate all you do. When it backfires for Rob, do you think he will claim mental instability and bank on his something treatments to get out any prosecution against him?
Something treatments. I begin. No. I think him and some other people that we've discussed on this show are just textbook narcissists, and textbook narcissists never take full responsibility of what happened. He will go down with this ship.
Flim Nasty says, this is Rob's mom, and y'all need to stop picking on my baby boy, or he's going to keep drinking and fighting security guards. Thank you, Mrs. O'Neill.
My baby boy.
Baby boy.
Okay.
John Elliott, $50, man. Thank you for the love. Classic Hail Mary publicity stunt mixed with political lawfare.
Oh, absolutely. You nailed it. I know. It's funny you say that. I was completely baffled at first by it, but I came to the same conclusion like all the other logical people will. And I was like, actually, this makes sense.
Bruckner says, why didn't Rob sue Emmy-nominated investigative journalist Matt Cole, who wrote Code Over Country, read Chapter 12, The Big Mish, aloud next pod? It's hilarious.
That's a great point. Me and David Hookstead talk, and we talked about all the people that Rob should also sue if he's mad at me. I go back to that because I always forget his name. I know it's something Cole. Matt Cole. Matt Cole did a great job of investigating with Code Over Country, and he came to the same conclusion I did as well. And it's off two different but paralleling efforts. Coincidence? I don't think so.
All right, Jay Dean says, give Nate over at VFT a call. He did an episode about a year ago talking about how hard it is to get defamation of character and what the plaintiff would need to actually win on such a whiny little girl lawsuit.
Here, this is actually something I'm not happy about. I don't believe it'll go to court for two reasons. Well, three, because I already mentioned one. We're not gonna move to dismiss this case because I'm not scared to go to court. The problem is, I don't think a judge will let it go to court because the threshold for a defamation to a public figure is so high, and I think that's another thing Rob is counting on. But I'm telling you, if this gets by a judge and a judge is like, sure, we'll entertain it. Now Rob is going to be in a pickle. So see what I did there?
Pickle day.
He's going to be in a pickle because he's either going to have to withdraw his lawsuit or go to court and get ruined. So I hope a judge lets it by.
Solely back in, what do you think of al-Shara visiting Trump? Would you meet for enemies like Taliban, et cetera, on podcast?
Me and Eddie Gallagher talked about this Tuesday. That's a really hard thing to decide what the right answer is. You can shut out people like that and not have a positive influence in their country. And yes, I'm aware of his past.
It's diplomacy.
But that is diplomacy. It's just my opinion. I understand why you would not allow someone to get the dignity of the White House. I do. I get that. But we can just take North Korea for instance, who has nuclear weapons and could cause mass destruction and casualties. So you can either not talk to them and just hope it gets better, or you can actually talk to them. And I'm just for talking to them and trying to use the power of America for good.
Yeah.
It's just my opinion.
Yeah. Brody Martin, $100, man. Thank you for the love. We really appreciate it. He says, loved episode 2 on GWAT. Some people call it GWAT. Kid Up song. But your teenage wigger self would be sad a rap song didn't make your top 10. Honorable mention and vote for outro song Bombs Over Baghdad.
You're going to win it with $100. I love that. Let me tell you why. And if you guys don't get it, I will tell them myself. I don't take myself too serious. The reason I knew why Green Berets I was never going to live that down, on episode 1, my very first episode, I'm doing everything of sorts. Drew produces this and couldn't do it without him. But when this is all done, I do all the editing. I put in the, if there's a flub, I have to edit it out. I have to put in the sponsors. I have to do the descriptions. I take it to a finished product. I was already a day late. It was supposed to go out on a Monday. Monday had come and passed. It was Tuesday. Well, it was Tuesday morning at 4 a.m. And it takes 30 to 45 minutes to render it. Some of this won't make sense to everyone. And then it takes like an hour to upload it to YouTube. And I have to put in the script. I'm falling asleep at the computer just trying to make sure this episode gets out on Tuesday, at least, already a day late. And in my one eye on it, trying to type the episode title and description, I type out legendary Green Beret and his dog of war. And I go to sleep for about 4 or 5 hours, and I wake up to about 30 text messages telling me that I'm an idiot, that I misspelled Green Beret. And I knew immediately, now I can go in and I can edit it. It now says Green Beret, but I knew I was never going to live that down. And one of the reasons I knew I was never going to let that down is because the one time I called myself a wigger months and months and months ago still gets brought up.
No good deed.
No, I've got to stop telling on myself.
The rest of the super chat says Outcast or Regulate, Warren G. Nate Dog, $100 to keep Cag Daddy off OnlyFans.
Well, I am on Patreon, and who was it? Who was it that described Patreon the way they did? Was it having to describe Patreon to someone an older person or someone who doesn't know it? Pull the microphone. How did you describe Patreon?
Patreon is essentially the OnlyFans for men. You get your subscribers, you talk to them. I mean, without the risky.
without the feet pics and the videos. But it hurt a little bit to hear that, because like there's a tinge of truth of that. Patreon's kind of like OnlyFans for men.
Successful men.
For successful men.
Let's do that.
Okay. All right.
Well, if Rob wins the lawsuit, we might have to change that up. It's the only way you're making $25 million.
Get that hoodie off.
I got $1.
Just $1 at a time.
Let's see.
The same way small town girls get through college, $1 at a time.
Eric Parks, $100, man. Thank you for the love. We really appreciate the support. You're gonna need some beer money for the fight. Keep up the great work,
Eric.
Cheers.
Thanks, brother. You have no idea how much I appreciate that.
All right, Recon X says you should do an episode on PFC Greg Williams, active Army with a DSG from Iraq.
Okay.
Never been mentioned on a podcast. I served with him in Iraq and Afghanistan. Greg Williams.
I don't know how I ran across that, but I did read his story, and I do know that story. And someone I think I know where I got it. I think someone on our Patreon, we have a guest request. I think someone requested him on Patreon, and I went and looked him up. That is awesome. Someone, I'll mention it just real quick. Someone said, I'm enlisting at 30. Any suggestions? It was a $2 super chat, but it's a cool super. I want to address it because you have a 30-year-old man that's about to sign up for the military. Hell yeah. Good on you. It is never too late. Any suggestions?
I just had a father just come into the shop the other day, and his son enlisted at 27.
Yep. Absolutely. Like there's like why wouldn't you? Like why wouldn't you?
He was he worked in the police corrections, right. And he said he didn't think he was doing enough.
Yeah. And you're going to come to the service with all sorts of life experience, which absolutely does matter. You're going to do great. You're old enough to know better. I mean, you're going to deal with some stupid stuff that you feel like you kind of shouldn't. But don't worry, they actually will grade you on a curve. Like you'll have to deal with some stupid stuff at the beginning just to make sure that you go through the process. But they'll for the most part treat you like a 30-year-old and enjoy it. Have the time of your life, brother.
He's infantry too.
Heck yeah. Drew would have been a Marine 100%. I disagree with that.
Well, why do you say that?
It was a super chat. It was a $5.
Oh, yeah?
What would he be?
Yeah. Why would I be a Marine? Oh, it's because I'm kind of black and white. Just kind of, I don't know.
You tell me what if you joined, what would you be?
Oh, well, look.
I have a guess, but I want to hear it from you.
Okay. So, I mean, if I joined, what would I be?
Yeah.
I mean, look, my plan was to go to the University of Florida, get a degree,
yep.
and then go to the Navy, be a Lieutenant JG, and fly F-14 Tomcats on a carrier. I mean, it was a bad plan.
It was a bad plan.
But I saw Top Gun, and that's the life I wanted to live. I mean, so that's what it was. That was the plan. Then God had different.
That's right. You would have been a pilot. I absolutely believe that.
Or Maverick.
No, he's an Iceman. He's an Iceman. Yeah, he's a rule follower. He's a by the book.
I am an Iceman.
You're an Iceman.
I'm an Iceman who wants to be a Maverick. That's what I am.
All right.
Now, if I could, now my old self, I'd go back and I'd fly helicopters. Probably Apaches or Blackhawks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd want to do a helicopter.
Blackhawks?
I said Blackhawks.
Blackhawks.
I don't know what your Blackhawks.
Okay. Because we're not. The truth is the truth. Do you remember what you went to the Navy recruiter? Didn't you? Did you actually go to one?
I don't remember doing that now.
Okay, then that'll take the wind out of my sails.
No, but what's funny is my wife did. My wife also saw Top Gun.
Oh.
my wife saw Top Gun.
Yeah.
At some point, and she's 6 years younger than me. She went She went to the recruiter and went to the Air Force because she wanted to fly, right? So, but she didn't know the difference between the Air Force and the Navy. And the Navy recruiter came up to her and said, "Well, theIr Force recruiter's not here. You can talk to me." And
if I was a recruiter, I'd do that all the time, whether they're there or not.
And she said, "No, I don't want to go to the Navy. I want to fly and go to the Air Force." And then he laughs, is like, and that was a funny little story.
All right. Drew, I do the stories here.
Yeah, I did. I did little stories. It was a funny little story. I'm trying to find where I left off here, guys.
I know. That's why you can't do stories.
Dang it. Oh, there it is. No, this is where we're at. Just waiting for the website, waiting for the internet to clear it up.
All right.
There it is. We're very close.
All right.
That's Greg Williams.
Yep.
All right. Hoskier says, in the words of Justin Wilson, I don't know who Justin Wilson is, but wait just a minute. Hold yourself still. We all know Team U ZZ Top. But introduce the rest of the couch crew. Love you guys. Not in a gay way.
It's a super chat. Lee is a floor artist.
That's right.
But in the way that someone who works at Subway is a sandwich artist. Swing the mic over. Lee, introduce yourself, man. And this isn't your first time at a live. It's just your first time at a live with the Tier 1 podcast, but you've been at lives before. Get up on the mic. Introduce yourself.
Yeah.
I work for a garage flooring company. They're actually veteran owned as well. The founder is a Marine.
Nice.
We have a branch here in Tampa. We have 6 around the country. But we do garage floors, pool decks, patios, pretty much anything concrete. We can coat with a polyaspartic top coat polyurea flake system.
Okay.
And we do some polishing.
Heck, what's the name of the company? It's a veteran-owned flooring company. Guardian Garage. I hope out of the thousands, and by the time this is recorded, it's not tens of thousands that someone needs a garage and like, hey, I'm gonna go to a veteran company. Let them know that the Tier1 Podcast sent you here, and that Lee specifically and his good looks and muscles made you want to do this, and maybe you'll get a kickback.
It's all Photoshop.
It's all
Filter on.
Yep.
Now that everybody sees Lee's arms, they're gonna give $100 in the
I know, now it
super
goes-
chat to get him to take his shirt off.
Yeah, for the 3 girls watching.
Yeah.
They're like, hey.
And the one guy.
Hey, $3.
Yeah. Magnet with lion arms needs no introduction.
Everybody knows me.
But again,
Team U is easy tie.
while we're doing Lion Arms USA.
LionArmsUSA.com. Go check out the Tier 1.
Yeah,
Brent Tucker.
Yeah, his signature
that we do.
rifle with him. He's a staple on the show. He's my gun expert. Always relate it kind of like a NASCAR driver of sorts. Like NASCAR driver knows enough about a car, but he's no mechanic.
know.
I know how to shoot a gun. I'm dangerous, with the specs of guns. But if you want to drill down too deep, I gotta go. I gotta call Magnet.
Don't ask me too many questions.
All right. There's 3 people on the couch.
And I am the emotional support blonde.
That's my emotional support bond. Devin. All right.
Okay,
Good question.
let's see. We've got, let's wish the ugly operator from the great state of Texas, Darren Bowe, a happy birthday. God bless Bowe in the great
nice.
state of Texas.
How'd-
50
how-
for the fallen is here for the tribe.
How'd you know, Chad? Devin, we just went to Fort Lauderdale yesterday because Bo, who was episode 1, flew into Florida for his 50th birthday. And I want to point this out. Did he spend his 50th birthday in Texas? No, he didn't, did he?
He came to the Gunshine
He
State
came
for
to the
a
Gunshine
reason.
State. I've got to text him tonight and let him know the discussion's actually been settled. You came here for your 50th. You didn't even stay in your own state.
Iceman says, if you can run a 40-yard dash in 4 seconds, then you can run it in 10. Matty Prunka, favorite drunk uncle.
If you could I don't know what that means. I mean, I do, and obviously.
It's like that's like every day.
If you
There's
could run a 40-yard dash in 4 seconds, you could run it in 10. Okay.
there's thousands of people that heard that.
Yeah.
Hundreds.
But what was that?
They'll learn that.
That was from the JT episode.
That was from the JT episode.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious.
That was funny. All right, Joseph Cox, $200. Dude kills the #1 terrorist. Yet a podcast folded him like a Dollar Tree. What the heck just happened to my... I didn't do nothing.
Don't ever change. I love it. I love it.
I hate the internet.
I can't be here. I can't be here.
I know you do. If anyone's ever like, hey, you guys will hit it big if you ever polish up the show. Guess what? We'll never hit it big. This is the crew. This is the horse I'm riding.
Yeah, anybody ever question Brent's faithfulness? Just, I'm always here. Tells you all you need to know about Brent's faithfulness.
This is why we keep a Bible on the desk.
As bad as it gets.
Dude, I thought I helped her.
Hey, look, that wasn't me. The internet got tired and said, I'm switching a window.
True.
Friggin' internet.
It's a good time for a beer run.
It's okay.
If anybody's been holding their pee, go take it now while I try to find where we left off. Let's see. That's Lebanese money.
Oh, thank you. Don't ever change. And don't ever learn acronyms. It'll ruin the show. If you ever get too good at your job and you ever learn acronyms, we're shutting it down.
Hey, I think I learned if you know, you know. I think I learned that one.
I was upset about that actually. I didn't want you.
I didn't even Google it. I eventually figured it out.
Oh gosh, I wish I could remember what you like right off the bat. You actually came up with one that was pretty good because those are hard. That's a hard string of letters. Do you remember what you said with what you thought it might stand for?
Oh, about if you know, you know?
Yeah.
I said something like laughing, yelling, kayaking, kicking you, kayak, something like that.
Laughing, If you know you lap, that starts with an L.
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I don't want to distract you. Get back to it.
Great podcast. Now Drew B. I don't think that's it.
We'll work our way backwards to this thing.
There it is. All right. There's 40-yard dash. Here we go. Drew B says, great podcast, and I appreciate everything you have done and how much you support and give to first responders. Thank you, Brent, Drew, and team. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much, Drew B. Hey, did we finish the super chat of $200?
Well, did we? Well, that's a good question, Brent.
Yeah. Well, I'm a man of the people.
I don't even see it.
Oh no.
Look for red.
Oh my God.
No, I looked. I don't even see it. Surely we finished it. Did we not finish it?
We didn't finish it.
It is not there.
And don't call me Shirley.
Sweetie, it's not there. I don't
Movie
see
quote? Anyone?
Naked Gun.
Oh yeah, Naked Gun.
Was
it to it?
Yeah. I almost went Airplane for a second, but same humor. But yeah, Naked Gun.
I could be wrong. Could be Airplane.
Could be Airplane. Striker, smack.
No, it was Leslie Nielsen. So it's got to be Naked Gun.
Which one is that? I missed it.
All right, let's talk about D. Brown here. It says, I've been looking into Rob's story for a while now. Have you looked into his Chief Petty Officer, Mike Roch, and, is that a real name? And see what he has to say about all this. Yeah, I think that's what they did there. Very different story. Keep up the good. Thank you, D. Brown.
Got him.
Mike Roch. I paused. Dang it.
It's been a while since they've got us on that one. Yeah.
And I'm not able to pre-read some of these
Right.
by our new system here. Let's see. Huntscape says, happy Festivus. Time to air grievances by some dang Crocs. P.S. Tim has a pre-Ranger tab on his form.
Buy some damn Crocs.
Let's see. Sully says, what is the pass rate for Green Berets on Delta selection of Green Berets that fail? What are main reasons for quitting?
No, you won't. You won't find a whole lot of guys quit. It's very, very, very low for guys to quit. They've already been through a lot. They just don't meet the standard.
Brent Huberty, I love this one. Can I be a part of your lawyer team? I'm not a lawyer, and I'm kind of dumb, but I think I'd have a good old time.
You know what? You're there. You're there. It takes a team. And that's true diversity.
How much could Ranger School have taught you given you were Delta?
Nothing. I hate to say it. It's true. The Ranger School would have taught me nothing.
Keep you sharp.
But I wanted the tab.
All right. D says, you have been chosen for a no-fail, world-saving, most important mission in all of Special Operations history, and you must select a number 2 man. Who would it be? Shrek, O'Neill, or Kennedy?
Oh, gosh.
Well, it's going to be out of the first 2.
Yeah, I'm not happy with this, but I'm going to go with Shrek.
There we go. So he says, what do you think of the whistleblowers like John Hardward and Snowden? Would you invite them on podcast?
Oh, that's a really good question, because at what point do you have a duty to be loyal to the country? And like, hey, like, you're not supposed to release this information. There's a reason why it's classified as such. But if you believe that things aren't right and you should release it, I mean, I don't know. Which is why I would love to have them on the podcast, and that's the type of questions that I think I would go down to try to get to that answer. But that's very subjective, and that's a problem with that. What one person thinks is the right answer may not be. You know, it's subjective. Like, everyone has a different threshold to it. So I don't know. I actually lean towards not doing it, but I'd have to look a little more into it. That's a great question.
Kenneth Bauer says, Brent, you should get an 04 Sader City conventional Army dude on too.
Solder City. Absolutely. Hey, and that's the other thing. It's not really my realm. The only reason why I'm getting a Marine from Ramadi on the show is because I ran into one at SWAT Roundup. So I have to either randomly run into these guys or someone from Patreon will be like, hey, have this guy on. I know a guy. I'm like, awesome. They're not in my circle, so they're kind of hard to run into. But if I run into them, I will absolutely have them on.
David Hookstead back in. He says, military gave me on the statement record, there is literally zero evidence the UBL raid AR was falsified in any way. That's not hearsay or speculation. That's the official word of the United States military.
I'm telling you, David Hookstead, when he grabs onto a story, because I see things from a tactical side, so I attack him one way. David, with his background, see things a little different. He has some other ways he views things that I don't think of, and I love it. So yeah, there you go.
When David gets his Hooksteads in a story. Alex G. Brent found the video.
I see what you did there.
Alex G says, Brent found the video of your old teammate, possibly from a squadron working with Forward Observations Group. I'm going to try to post it on Patreon chat.
All right. I think Forward Observation Group invited me out to one of their things in January, and I think I'm going to try to make it. So I'd be interested to work with those guys.
All right, guys, just to let you know, getting late. If we can't get to your super chats, it's chat at your own risk. Let's see.
Chat at your own risk.
Chat at your own risk.
Okay.
Braden says, Brent, prior Marine, POG here, looking to hop over on the 18 train. Any advice besides run fast and do a lot of push-ups?
And ruck. Do those things. Put a ruck on your back and put miles on your feet. You get a blister. I know it sounds so petty and so small. You get a blister, it's really hard to outwalk a blister. Put miles on your feet, harden your feet, get your legs prepared to walk a long time, not just once, but day after day after day after day. You do that, you'll be just fine.
Scott K says, who can we get on the case? We need Perry Mason.
Perry Mason. One of my favorite Aussie songs. Perry Mason's an underrated Aussie song.
Had a premonition when picking that song. Brenner Drew, suing a fellow vet around 1111 was a real choice.
A little bit of insight into the man he is.
25 mil buys Rob a lot of booger sugar. Will I be able to source Tier 1 podcast merch in Australia? Just in the States.
We able to source Tier 1 podcast? Yeah, well, the Tier 1 merch. Oh,
yeah, the merch.
Gosh, I know. I hate it.
Customs and addresses just have kind of killed us. AK Croat says, hey guys, bouncing souls, letters from Iraq for outro. Keep up the good fight and truths. $50.
Second place.
Bouncing
souls letters from Iraq. Okay.
Oh, that's the bottom. No. Well, let's see. I'm going to do this.
Oh, what are you going to do?
I don't know. I'm going to probably mess something up.
Oh, gosh.
We read that one.
No, we did.
That's the one
but we like halfway through it jumped.
All right, this is the one we might have missed. Dude kills the #1 terrorist, yet a podcast folded him like a Dollar Tree lawn chair under a fat uncle. FRCC Tier 1 merch is sweet. Logos on front and back is the move. Arse blasters for life.
That's a great point. You can't be both. You're one or the other. You're either a badass that kills the #1 terrorist in the world, yet a podcast breaks you. Come on, guy.
All right, Wesley Pruitt. Here it is, man. We got it. It says Rob is going down. Wesley for $300, man. We really appreciate your love, man. Appreciate your love. Rob is going down. Metallica, sad but true for the outro.
Good to see you again, Wesley. Wesley, when you coming to Alive?
Yeah, man. Email us. The Tier1 Podcast at gmail.com. See if I can see if there's anything else I might have missed up here. Got that one. This is another one right here. Let's see what this is. It's just John Vincius, which he said some stuff earlier, but
thank you, John.
He puts in $300.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much.
I'll tell you, I don't. I won't be suing anyone for $25 million because of loss of revenue, because I'll never make that. I don't do this for the money. Yet you guys do donate to the cause. And again, I can't tell you how humbling it is, how grateful I am about it. And just thank you, just from the bottom of my heart. Like, thank you guys. We reached the end?
Let me look at one. Almost.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. Says Fro, Bart Clucker, love the podcast, FRCC, and what it stands for. Is there any chance of the Book of Lies Part 4 discussing Tim Lies about his involvement in the Afghanistan withdrawal, or is that no longer necessary?
Okay, that's a great question. One, I do. I believe it's no longer necessary. It would be one thing if anyone took Tim serious anymore. I don't think it would add to the argument. He's lied about everything. He's lied about the pullout. I will tell you this though. I am working with someone who is doing that, who's a journalist, and I have helped feed him all the information that I have gathered over this. So it will be done. It just probably won't be done by me, but I'll make sure you guys know where to find that when it hits, and it'll be just as devastating as the rest to him, but no surprise to us. A zebra doesn't change its stripes. Is that a leopard doesn't change its spots? What am I trying to say?
Those both work.
Those both work.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. Drew doesn't learn acronyms.
An Ethiopian can't change his skin.
You can't say that.
Yeah, that's in the Bible. Right next to the leopard can't change its spots.
You can. Well,
it's in the book of Jeremiah.
You can say that.
Because all right,
hold on. No, you can say that.
Just quoting God. All right.
Just quoting God.
God. All right, Franny, speaking of it, says, just tuning in, thank you for being outspoken about the Christian faith.
We always will be.
That's it. Mr. Polite, I would have figured that Drew would have been the amazing chaplain that would have chatted with you in the smoke pit and got some smokes in the field. Yeah, I actually talked to my youngest brother. Your
youngest sister?
No, he's our brother, our youngest brother. He just doesn't look like us. He's blonde hair, blue eyes. He's gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
And he was a recruiter back in the day, long before he was an amazing sergeant major. And I asked him, I was about, I don't know, I was mid-30s. Maybe late 30s. And I asked him about a chaplain job. I was like, what do you think? And he's like, Drew, you might not want to be a chaplain in the Army. You can't say what you want to say. So
it's political, which is crazy.
Talk me out of it.
Yeah. Tell the truth about God, but not everything about what God says.
but don't contradict what the other chaplain's saying about the Muslims, okay?
Yeah.
That's what they want. All right. And let's see. Dusty O says Rob's favorite ramen noodle flavor is cream of some young guy. R.I.P. If you know, you know. I'll have something. I'll tell you later, Brent. I'll have something new next live.
All right.
Iceman says, Brent, which is better, X-Ray, Yankee, Zulu, or Victor? Just wondering.
X-Ray.
XYZV. All right.
I'll tell you after the show. Great question.
All right. Brent, so you believe Matt's stories and theories that the 160th was in on some conspiracy to crash their helicopters?
No, and that's not what Matt said.
Matt didn't say that.
Yeah. Well, if you want to call it conspiracy, the only conspiracy was that Obama pushed the operation right 24 hours, so he had something to say at the what was the dinner, the gala that I just told you the name of it the other day when you were talking about it at the press. Anyway, and then 24 hours later, the temperature rises, which affects the lift on the helicopters. But no, the 160th would never intentionally crash a helicopter. They're well known for being the best pilots on the earth. There's nothing you could ever change or force them to do otherwise.
All right, we caught up.
All right, we are caught up. Guys, thank you so much. We will see you on a live, what's supposed to be first Thursday of every month. This was a special one. It got rolled to the right a little bit, and I'm glad it did, because there's something else we actually didn't talk about. It's a really good thing we rolled the live 1 week to this Thursday, or else we'd have missed one of the biggest subjects that's maybe ever happened to this show, and what I hope is the biggest subject that ever happens to this show. I would hope we don't have to deal with too many lawsuits. Guys, thank you so much. We'll see you on the live side of the house first Thursday of every month. This Monday, we will not have a recorded podcast out because we did the live with Eddie Gallagher. That'll be counted as an episode. And we have the Kyle Morgan episode coming up. We have the JT for Jared Taylor from Black Rifle episode coming up. I'm going to do, I'll figure it out. Go ahead and let you guys know. We're going to, I'm either going to do the history of Delta Force or George Washington, the original, one we call the original operator, as an episode, as our first history episodes. I'm really looking forward to that. So give you guys a glimpse of that. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys later.